welcome or welcome back to Champion the Passion, a weekly wrestling podcast where we inspire you to champion your passions and celebrate the joy in what you love. I'm your host. My name is Victoria Daisy, and today we're going to be recapping everything that happened last night on NXT, aka Gold Rush Week 1. But before we dive deeper, don't forget to leave a 5-star review if you enjoyed. Follow me at It's Victoria Daisy across all social platforms, and follow Champion the Passion across all streaming platforms. But let's dive right into the opening match for the AAA Mixed Tag Team Championships. We had the champions and also the women's United States champion, Chelsea Green, alongside of her tag partner, who is also the NXT North American champion, Ethan Page, versus Joe Hendry and Thea Hale. Now, this was a really fun match, okay? You have all these different personalities coming together to create one great story. And I just thought that all the spots were really good and top to bottom, just really entertaining match and a great way to not only kick off the night, but kick off the 2-week special of Gold Rush. Now, obviously, in the end, Chelsea Green and Ethan Page did retain their titles. And after that, we had a match for the NXT Women's North American Championship, Blake Monroe versus Sol Ruca. Now, this was a really good match, truly. I mean, I was so excited to see how the two of these women would square up in a match, and I thought it was really great. They worked really well together and had a lot of great spots. And to be honest, I was a little worried for Sol considering the fact that she wasn't 100% healthy for this match, but she seemed fine throughout it. Although at a point, Blake targeted Sol's knee by ripping off her brace and attacked it. Now, it was so bad that Zaria ended up throwing in the towel, which means the match ended and Blake Monroe retained her title. Now, it's rare we see someone throw in the towel like this, but it definitely is going to cause issues between Sol and Zaria, considering that Sol never tapped, never said I quit, never showed an ounce of I can't finish this match. And we all know Zaria's excuse has been to just try and keep Sol's best interest in mind, but we all know that that's bogus and it's just fake news. So I'm sure we're going to get the turn at some point from one of them. Mainly, it's probably going to be Zaria. Then after that, we had a segment between our NXT champion, Ricky Saints, and Obafemi. Ricky started talking about how he wasn't shocked last week when Oba returned because he was, well, expecting it. He called out Oba for being a sore loser and then let him know that he has been an absolute workhorse while Oba has been away. Then Oba, replied and said that Ricky hasn't changed. He then stated that he wanted to take his time before returning because he doesn't want to be part of all the nonsense going on in NXT since it's all, quote, beneath him. Then he said that during his time away, he actually went back to his home of Nigeria to reconnect with what made him a ruler in the first place. And now he is back ready for gold. Then the match was made official for Deadline, which is on December 6, 2025. That's a Saturday. In a couple of weeks, we will have the champion Ricky Saints defending against the ruler Obafemi. It's going to be really good. And after that was made official, Trick Williams came out to say that he's not done with Oba, but somebody's done with him, and that's Miles Bourne. He came out from behind to attack him and got on the mic to tell Trick that karma is a fill in the blank. And after Ava made that match official, we're getting Miles Bourne versus Trick Williams next week on NXT Gold Rush Week 2. So a lot of matches made out of this one segment, and I'm truly so curious to see what Oba is doing here. Is he actually going to win the championship? I think having him go out at Deadline if he loses that match would be a perfect way to finally seal the deal. But it's also so hard too because it's you can't have Oba lose twice to somebody like Ricky Saints, but then at the same time it's Oba should have been on SmackDown yesterday. You know what I mean? So it's very hard. I feel like WWE sucks when it comes to calling people up. They take absolute eternities till they finally call someone up. Trick Williams is somebody who should have been called up yesterday as well, but obviously to each their own. Next, let's head into the match for the NXT Tag Team Championship. So Dark State defended their tag titles against the young OG Javon Evans and the TNA X Division champion Leon Slater. Now, this was an incredible match, truly. I mean, some of NXT's and TNA's best talent all in one ring to create absolute magic. Leon and Javon did some of the most insane moves that they are known for and left us all on the edge of our seats. But in the end, Dark State did retain their titles. And something that's very interesting is that Dark State always finds a way to bounce back. Even though they took in a lot of offense during this match, they still found a way to recover and win the match and secure their gold, which is a huge advantage that they have as a faction. So very big plus for them. But let's head into the main event of the night. We had the NXT Women's Championship on the line. Tatum Paxley defending against the former champion JC Jane. Now, this was a really interesting match. Lots of shenanigans from Fatal Influence and the Culling to be expected. And the content that we got from the match itself, I really enjoyed. I mean, we obviously know the two of them work really well together and tell a really good story. But then the moment finally happened. The moment we had been anticipating for weeks now has finally come to fruition. The Culling turned on Tatum Paxley. So it was at the very end of the match. Tatum got, who did she get waffled by? Oh crap, I want to say it was Lainey Reed. And so she got oh no, was that Izzy? Now my mind's getting scrambled. But Tatum Paxley was on the outside of the ring. She was about to go inside, and then Sean Spears and that other dude, I never remember his name, stopped her from getting into the ring. And I thought, are they trying to help her? And then Izzy waffled her. And I was like, oh shoot, it happened. And then obviously she shoved her into the ring. JC took advantage and won the match and re-won her NXT Women's Championship, which this is so cool for JC because she is now only the third woman in NXT history alongside Roxanne Perez and Shayna Baszler to hold the NXT Women's Championship twice. So big accomplishment to her. That's amazing. But obviously the bigger picture is that we got the turn we've been waiting for. And so now I think that they have the opportunity to create a really good storyline between Tatum Paxley and Izzy Dame. And I really hope that they really capitalize on that because Tatum Paxley is so underrated and really is capable of telling such a great story. And I'm really excited to see where we go moving forward. Also, something that I wanted to mention as well is that throughout the show, or not throughout the show, but at one part of the show, Ava came on the screen to announce that next week we are getting an appearance from John Cena. He is going to be announcing the competitors for both the men's and women's Iron Survivor challenges happening December 6th at Deadline. Now, usually these are chosen at random, but since he's the greatest of all time who's about to retire, Ava thought it was a good idea to have him choose the worthy competitors for these challenges. Now, they didn't specify if this was going to be an in-person appearance. I'm going to assume this is going to be all done on video since this was not listed in his physical appearance list. So, just to clear the air on that, but very excited for him. So excited to see who he ends up choosing. I'm sure he's going to pick very deserving, worthy competitors, people who have proven to be at the position to be in this match. So very excited, but let's head into my overall thoughts. Overall, I thought it was a really good show. My match of the night, honestly, was really tough to choose. It was between the opening mixed tag match for the AAA Mixed Tag Team Championships, Chelsea Green and Ethan Page versus Joe Hendry and Thea Hale, or the NXT Tag Team Championship match, Darkseid versus Leon Slater and Javon Evans. But in the end, I'm going to choose Darkseid versus Leon Slater and Javon Evans just because it was absolutely electric. And I picked that one over the mixed tag by a hair, truly. They were both so good, but that match just won by a little bit more because what we saw in that match was absolute cinema, and I loved every second of it. My segment of the night, hands down, was Ricky Saints and Obafemi. I mean, it was so good. It was a great back and forth promo, and it's always so great to see my go Obafemi. Overall, I'd rate the show about an 8 out of 10, so a really good show, excuse me. And I'm very excited to see how Gold Rush Week 2 next week shapes up and compares to this week. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching and listening to this episode of Champion the Passion. Don't forget to leave a 5-star review if you enjoyed. Follow me at It's Victoria Daisy across all social platforms, and follow Champion the Passion across all streaming platforms. Don't forget to champion your passions and celebrate the joy of what you love, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.